I'm Ryan Burke. I'm the head cider maker at Angry Orchard, and we're in Brittany, France. I wanted to make Angry Orchard rosé cider out of my love for rosé wine. We came here and found these red-fleshed apples. These are really rare fruit. The apple brings a right, refreshing, natural taste to the cider and a deep, nice pink rosé hue. Our rosé is a little bit less sweet. It's got a really nice balance for any occasion. It's a really refreshing drink.
Angry Orchard Cider Company, Walden, New York. Drink responsibly.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hi, folks. This is Mark Wilmot, singer-songwriter of the Redstone Ramblers, owner of Trademark Instrument Repair, and proud supporter of the Paige Roberts Show on Intercom Radio. Do you want that old acoustic to play like butter again? You want to get that Strat you got from your dad hot-rodded? Or maybe you want to put a pickup in your banjo? You can contact me for all your TLC. I'll be there for your instrument when it needs me. You can check me out at Trademark Instrument Repair on Facebook. Thanks again for listening, and remember, support your local songwriter.
We're playing tunes that make you grin. Our music's better than it's ever been. So think of us when you need a show. We're at WIRN Intercom Radio. As a boy, I remember without fail every Sunday afternoon my daddy played Merle Haggard loud enough to shake the shingles on the roof. All us kids in the neighborhood knew every word that Mama tried. And I've heard it on the radio not once since the day my daddy died. Hank Thompson, Johnny Paige, and George Jones, Patsy Cline, and Sonny James. It's so wrong, the only place I hear them sing is in the Country Hall of Fame. Country radio's neglected, the legends that made Nashville what it is. And I bet my country ass that I'll be gone before I hear them played again. What a shame country music isn't country anymore. How I miss Luke the Drifter when I hear that old lonesome whistle below. Twin fiddles and a whining steel guitar never graced my radio. God, I hate the country music isn't country anymore. I never thought I'd see the day that pop and rock and roll would rule this town. When George Strait hangs his hat up Music City, we'll be down for the count. Like when the Okie from Muskogee sang, a joint was just a bad place to be. She thinks I still care and faded love are just precious memories. Conway, Twitty, Johnny Cash, and Kitty Wells, and the list goes on and on. Gone and long forgotten by mainstream country radio. But come Sunday afternoon, I'll raise every single window in my house and pay honor to their memories, the way my daddy taught me how. when I hear that old lonesome whistle blow. Twin fiddles and a white steel guitar never graced my radio. God, I hate that country music isn't country anymore. Yeah, it's a sin that country music isn't country anymore.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Paige Roberts Show. It is Tuesday, June the 5th, 2018, and it is Featured Artist Tuesday. We've been really busy here at the Paige Roberts Show, but we still have our songwriting contest going on, and I'm getting quite a few emails, so keep them coming, and we'll probably give a deadline coming up here soon, but we're going all summer long with the songwriting contest, and probably going to give a winner probably in August or September. So that gives everybody time to write their songs and get them in. So, but tonight, my featured artist is Ohio-based indie country music Hall of Famer, award-winning Richard Lynch. How are you doing, Richard? Thank you for coming on tonight.
I'm doing good, Paige. Thanks for having me, honey.
You're welcome. It's been quite a while since we talked. I've been watching, though.
It's been way too long. I'm glad to be back on the air with you.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you for that. Wow, I was reading over everything earlier, and I'm like, I don't see how you do it, Richard. You're doing something like all the time.
Oh, well, we was kind of talking off the air a little while ago. We got a lot of farming chores going on and trying to keep caught up with all those things that we're doing. And we got to leave tomorrow morning. We're doing a couple shows in Virginia, and then got to come back for the 9th of June. We're doing a country music festival here in our hometown. Now, most people are excited that they get to play their own hometown, but not me. We have to drive 600 miles back home so we can play in our hometown. What's wrong with me?
Right. That's the truth. But I'm sure they love Richard Lynch.
Oh, we have a lot of fun, and people love the music, and we get to see people that we haven't seen in a long time. And, it's really all about, for me, keeping real traditional country music alive. And I don't know that I'm going to have all the success by keeping it alive, but I'm going to do everything I know to do to keep that traditional music alive as well, as long as I'm playing and able to.
Right, I agree with that. I know last night, I think I have gone country. I have a few rock bands that still come on with me, but maybe I should go all country, Richard.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with rock and roll. It's just,
right.
Everybody has to love what they love, and that's the reason why, I'm playing music. I grew up in a country music household. My dad was a great country singer, and I was lucky enough to be in a household where country music was everywhere. And when we grew up, and I learned at a young age that my dad was pretty special kind of guy, and I got to watch him and learn from him, and it made me realize how special traditional country music is. I'm just thankful that I grew up in that household.
Now, with your dad, with you learning the guitar, did you take lessons, or your dad taught you how? Right?
Yeah, Dad taught me quite a bit, but he wasn't as patient with me as as most folks would. Thank goodness I had a buddy in school who was a little more patient with me. I said, "Hey, show me how you play that chord again. Hey, show me how you do that chord again." But finally, I learned, and then once I learned to. I was getting to where I could play 3 or 4 chords, and then Dad seeing that I was pretty serious about playing, he was a little more patient with me, and I just stuck with it, and I decided that I was determined to play that guitar and write songs and play my music. And so, I realized that it takes a lot of effort in whatever you do. If you're a baseball player, you got to put a lot of effort into it to learn your craft. If you're a guitar player, if you're a singer, if you're whatever, it takes a lot of time and effort to get to where you feel comfortable about doing it. And I'm glad my dad was patient with me enough to where he seen that I was serious, and he showed me a few things.
Well, I bought me a guitar, Richard, so I'm learning too, but it's harder than I thought it was.
What'd you get?
Oh, it's just a student guitar, beginning guitar. So I didn't want anything fancy. Is
it a flat top or electric guitar?
It's flat acoustic.
All right. Well, have you been playing some chords and picking and singing yet?
Yes, until I got to the F chord.
Well, it takes a little effort, and then once your fingers get all sore, then you'll say, "Oh man, I don't know if I want to do this or not."
I have people telling me, "Well, you can play." I forget what chord it is. Maybe the A or B chord. You can play this chord with that same F chord. I'm like, well,
Yeah. I got it.
I like. Go ahead.
I got a feeling you'll keep right on until you figure it out. You next time I talk to you, you'll be playing with some rock and roll band. Said, "Hey, I got it going on now."
Oh man, that's funny. But now we have YouTube, so that helps out a lot. And on some of those YouTube, they even show you how to position your fingers. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't even know how. But I know you've been Go ahead.
This coming June, as a matter of fact, it is June, next week will be my 40th year that I started playing music. Ain't that crazy?
Wow,
40 years ago.
That time flies, doesn't it?
It does, and I remember, all the time it took to build up calluses on my fingers, and it didn't hurt to play them little guitars. but I just kept with it. I got a feeling you'll do the same, Paige.
Right. Well, I chickened out. I tried it a long time ago, and I chickened out because it was like, ouch, no. So, for now, maybe. So we'll see. You might be right. So, but I'll keep trying until I get it. I haven't had the chance to really look into it now because I've been so busy with the show.
You'll be just fine. They'll be reading about you in the newspapers and on the radio. Paige Roberts, she's got her first song album coming out. I can see it already.
And right, with Richard Lynch. No.
Well, heck yeah. Sign me up. Let's do a duet together.
All right. I know you asked me that before, Richard, and I kind of turned you down a little bit, but I sing. I'm kind of I can't think of what I did. Alto. That's what I am. I can do soprano too, but not way up there on them high D parts. But
I love it. We see now when I get with you the next time we get together, we're going to have to do me and Rhonda Vincent's song "Back in Love Again." I know you could tear it up.
Now I have to do a lot of practice on that one. I bet I couldn't top Rhonda Vincent now.
Hey, you just got to keep practicing. That's all.
That's it. I know it. Now you just got through also with the cruise, right?
Yeah, we have booked a cruise for the up and coming year. We finished a cruise in this previous February. We got to go down through Galveston, Texas, and we left the cruise out of Galveston, and we played 4 nights on a 7-night trip all the way into Mexico and the Yucatan Peninsula. Had a ball. And this year we have booked a cruise again. A guy you may have heard of, Mr. Doug Supernall, will be on the cruise with us. And a group called Two Country for Nashville will be on the cruise performing with us. And a couple others are going to be on that cruise that we're excited about doing the country music cruise again. But this year it'll be out of New Orleans. So, cool. That'd be a little closer drive. You don't have to drive all the way to Galveston if you're in, on the eastern part of the states or whatever. But for the folks around Nashville and Ohio Valley and down around your neck of the woods, Georgia, it'd be a lot closer than driving all the way to Galveston. But we'd love to get folks there to come and partake in our country music cruise. Looking forward to doing that.
Awesome. Now, too, you have been nominated again this year by the Josie Music Awards. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, I just kind of got a little bit of information about that the night before last, and I understand that we've been renominated for Traditional Country Music Artist of the Year, and I'm excited about that. And I think I'm telling it right. We were nominated for the Album of the Year too from Josie. So Josie's been awfully good to us over the years, and her and her mom, they put an awful lot of effort into the independent country music artists as well as independent music artists, not just country, but those two ladies put a lot of effort into what we do and what they do, and we're very appreciative of all the stuff that they've done for me and my music, and they're good ladies, good people. I'm just glad I get to be around and hang out with those folks. They're kind of like you, Paige. You guys put a lot of effort into our music, and we thank you guys.
Well, I appreciate that. And I talked about this last night on our show, and, I don't think people really realize what it does take to put together a show, like yourself and like Dean Holman and them who put together those shows all the time, and it is a lot of work.
This is true. If you've been to the any awards ceremony, they take a lot of planning. They take a lot of physical, folks that really get in there and set up chairs and not to mention all the stage setup. And there's a lot of expense involved in these award ceremonies. So the fact that Josie and her mother have stepped up and done these awards, there's lots and lots of musicians, not just in the United States, but also from Europe that they have helped. So, yeah, that's quite an undertaking, and, I know I'm speaking for everybody else that's done anything with Josie, and we appreciate them so much.
Right, that's true. We appreciate everybody that helps, even if it's just the little things, too. Now, last year, you released your album, Mending Fences, which is doing rather well. And that is the album in question, right? Or that we are talking about. That has been nominated. Tell us about this album. Tell us about the album and the songs that you have on your album. Because you have songs also on here that you have written as well.
Yeah, the current album, Mending Fences, I was fortunate enough to where I got a couple of my songs that I wrote that made it on the album, and people kind of look at me funny when they hear that, and and I just tell them, just because I wrote a song or I'm a co-writer on a song doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be on my album. And what I mean by that is I'm looking for the best music that I can possibly find, and I'm getting pretty fortunate, and I've created a lot of friends and known a lot of friends that's been in the industry for a long time, and they're submitting to me some awfully good songs. And whenever we put together an album, we listen to hundreds and hundreds of songs every time. And my wife, her opinion means an awful lot to me, and of course Randy, our management. And we'll acquire several tunes, and we'll break it down to 20, and we'll break it down to 15, and we'll break it down to the 12 that make it on the album. But if I like something, that's one thing, but it's also got to mean something to I like my wife's opinion, my management's opinion too, and so they always look out for me, and ultimately we're looking for the best songs possible to end up on an album. I was lucky that a couple of my songs that I wrote went on there. Hopefully the next album I'll have a couple, 2 or 3, maybe 4 on the next album. So it's always something that makes you proud of when you hear something that is on, that makes it on the album, and you wrote it, and it makes you a whole lot more proud of it because it's from the heart, and it's an expression of how you live, and ultimately I just want it to be the best music I can find to put on my album.
Now, the songs that doesn't get put on an album, now do you release those as a singles, Richard, or no? Well,
the ones that don't go on an album, typically we always we like some particular songs, and we consider them possibly for the up and coming album. So, but we're always looking for that great song. So, Paige, when you go home tonight and you write that great country song, you send it to my wife, Miss Donna, and if it cuts the mustard, we're going to put it on the album, okay?
Well, I know she's probably told you that I have been working on a song. But I haven't got it completely completed yet. I might get some friends to help me with it. So
that's awesome. If you get to writing with somebody and you get comfortable writing with a co-writer, it's amazing what a couple different people can do to come up with a different song. Sometimes you start one direction and you can end up a completely different direction. It's really cool to watch these songs be born.
Or a totally whole new song, right?
Right, it is. Yes, ma'am.
It is. Now, out of all of your albums, do you have a favorite album or no?
I'm very fortunate. The new album, Ending Fences, is by far my favorite. I mean, I'd say that, and you always think, or you like to think that your most recent effort is your best, but I do believe that our new album is by far the best that I've ever done. And I want to say, and I want to think that I'm learning and getting better at being a recording artist, because you get in the studio and you like to learn things, and you remember things that you wish you hadn't done, but you ultimately learn a different approach. And the more you're in the studio and the more you're around those incredible musicians and directors and other folks involved in the business, you ultimately get to be better. And so, I always want to be better than the last project. And, I don't know if I can ever do better than this one, but I said that about the last one. I don't know that I could ever do better than a Better Place album, because I was really excited and really pleased with how that turned out. But it seems like I'm always around great people that put me in a better direction, and I got great musicians and so forth that make me step up my game. Like when you're in the studio and you're playing with some of the best musicians in the world, you better step up, because there's a lot of pressure right there. You know what I mean? These guys they want you. They make you do and make you pull out the best of you. You know, I'm just glad that I'm around people that allow me to shine and allow me to learn and ultimately just be a little better musician and a singer and a recording artist. Just keep getting better, do it all the time, and keep getting better at it.
That's right. Now, I know you have your traditionally Lynch. Now, you do have the ones that you do on your farm. You have that show first, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
Well, the traditionally Lynch TV show is being aired every Saturday morning on Star 64, Channel 64 in Cincinnati, Ohio. And we understand it was just picked up by a internet station called Farm and Ranch internet station. So it's being played. And I'm getting secondhand information, but I think we were told that within a week of it being aired, it has reached the top 10 of their formats. So I don't know how many different shows or how many other shows are on the Farm and Ranch Network, but we have reached the top 10 on that network. And really, it's really about the music. You know, I keep saying that, but you know, I want the music to be. If somebody knows my name, Richard Lynch, and if they hear an album, they hear a song, I want it to be known for traditional country music. It's brand new music, but it's got that familiar steel guitar or a fiddle or a three-part harmony or a storyline that tells people, hey, this guy, he loves traditional sound of music. And so I think people are gravitating toward me when they realize that that's exactly what I want to play. And you know, people more so today, more than ever, they're looking for that traditional sound. And if you love country music in 1960s and 70s and 80s and 90s, you still love that sound. And so a lot of folks are trying to find that sound again. And I just want to do what I can to keep that sound alive and well. And you know, if I have an opportunity to do a TV show or a radio show or be in a studio, I'm going to do my best to keep that traditional sound out there.
Well, on my shows here recently, we have all been talking about vinyl. How do you feel about vinyl, Richard? I mean, I wouldn't even know. How long has it been since vinyl has stopped?
Well, I understand people like Reba McEntire and other folks are still recording vinyl records, and I think that's really cool. You know, that's something that, as a fan, you can actually purchase it, own it, and have a collection of it. I hadn't recorded any vinyl since way back in the early 1990s,
right?
And that was the last time that I had done any records. It was the 45s back then. But you know, I really think that's a great idea. It's more expensive. You would have to charge more, you know, because you're spending more on the product.
Right.
But you know, if you got somebody that's a true blue bona fide fan, and they want music like that they can collect, and I think it's awesome that they can have that opportunity. But it's not for every artist. You know, you got to consider the costs of that vinyl thing. You know, heck, when I was growing up, that's all there was. You know, I can still remember buying Waylon Jennings albums and Elvis albums and all those cool albums. You know, of the set when I was a kid of the 70s, and you know, I thought that was really great, and I still have some of those albums today. I would like to think that there's a future left for that vinyl industry out there somewhere. I don't know that there will be, but I'd sure like to see that. You know, at some point in my career, get about a vinyl album recorded. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen.
Right. It would be interesting to see what happens with that.
It would be.
Right. But like you said, and I hadn't even thought about that with the cost of the vinyl. Yeah, that's true.
I have to find a record player somewhere. I think Miss Donna's got one tucked around here somewhere.
Right. Yeah. How do we equip people with the record players? That's right. You might could go into a pawn shop or something like that and find one.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think Walmart now sells record players now, and I think someone told me that there recently. And that must be because there is some kind of a resurgence of vinyl records, and so I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah, me too. Now, do you have anything that you're working on now? I know you just come out with that. You're mending fences. Is there a project that you're working on now, writing? You're always writing, right?
And me and my guitar player, Mr. Tim Bennington, we actually have written 4 songs within the last couple of months. You guys know I live on a farm, and this time of year I'm pretty busy with that thing. So my songwriting has kind of taken a back seat to my hay baling. So I've been doing a lot of that, and we've been building a new barn here on the farm. But every opportunity I get, I'd love to sit down and write with Tim. And as we speak, we've got 6 new songs that we have written that I'm really excited about them, and whether one or all 6 end up on our next album remains to be seen. But yeah, this is one of the, for me to be a songwriter, I have to. If I get an inspiration, I've got to stop what I'm doing, grab a pen and paper, and go find my recorder, because if I don't do it right when it comes to me, it goes away just as fast as it came. And so yeah, that songwriting thing, that's really important. And I really love the fact that I can say I've got some songs I've written. I'm not what you call a prophetic songwriter. I write occasionally. To sit down and write a song, I guess I possibly can, but it seems like to me the best songs that I write, I have an inspiration or something, and I just kind of stop and write it down then, or it just goes away.
Out there riding on a tractor, and I saw words pop into your head. Do you stop this tractor, Richard? And
Absolutely.
Really? Cool. That's cool. But yeah, I mean, recording, things are much easier now. Now you have recorders. You can record instead of having to grab a pencil and paper all the time.
Well, I'm still the old school. I got an old flip phone that I can call. As a matter of fact, I'm talking to you on my flip phone right now. The today's world of technology has let me by. Good thing I've got my wife Donna and our management to take care of all that. There, I'd be in deep trouble. So if I don't find a pencil and paper, I'm in trouble.
True that. Well, I'm still that way too, Richard. I write all of my stuff down. But now, The Love Tattoo, the song and the foundation. Tell us about the song first.
Well, I'm glad you asked about that. The Love Tattoo song has helped an awful lot of folks, and I'm really proud to say that because, I am a flag-waving, all-American boy that love our country, and I'm glad that I live in this great country. And I was raised to respect and appreciate our men and women of the military. Now, I didn't serve in our military, but my dad did, my grandpa did, my brother Woody did, and I have a huge respect and appreciation for those men and women that they do so much for us. And in regards to your question, the Love Tattoo song, it's actually came to me. It was sent to me by a mutual friend, and he was sitting watching TV, and back when the Afghanistan conflict was on the news every night, and he seen a gentleman from his area, the Virginia Beach area, came and was sent back home, and it was on their local news that he was sent back home and he was in a hospital, and he was pretty well shot up. Now, Chuck Brisbane was the writer of the poem that he sent to me, and he sent it to my wife and said, ask Richard if he thought he'd put some music to this poem. So I sat down and I read it, and I grabbed my guitar and I started singing, and I realized this is really cool, this is really special, but I thought it needed a little help. So me and another songwriter in Nashville, Tennessee, Terry Dennis, got together and we wrote a chorus to the verses that Chuck had written. So between the three of us, we wrote the song Love Tattoo. And if you listen to the words, it's kind of touching because, it does indeed kind of spill some emotions on how these men and women are, when they come back, they're not necessarily the way they were or where they left. They have, different ailments or different issues with them. Some of them actually get shot up. Some of them come back with psychological problems. And so the song Love Tattoo kind of touches on how, these folks are dealing with their different ailments that they got by serving our country. So me and some guys got in the studio and we recorded a song, and we were doing a show with Ronnie McDowell. And I did not know this at the time, but Ronnie McDowell had served 3 tours of duty in Vietnam. Now, I've always loved Ronnie's music, but when I found out that Ronnie did 3 tours of duty in Vietnam, I was completely blown away, and my respect level went through the roof. So I said to our agent, our management, Randy Hafer, I said, why don't you see if you can't get this song to Ronnie and see if he would possibly be interested in doing a duet with me. Well, lo and behold, we played the song for Ronnie McDowell, and he liked it. And he said, yeah, I would love to do this. So we got in the studio, and we re-recorded the song Love Tattoo. And the proof is in the pudding. It was a huge success. It's still being played in lots of places. But the best part about it, Paige, is that any and all proceeds from the sale of that particular song goes to help our men and women of the military. And up there and there's a place that we've kind of gravitated to called the Whirlwind Lodge, and it's in Michigan. And anybody from World War II to today is welcome to go up to the Whirlwind Lodge if they need a little recreation or they need a little downtime or they just need to get away. There's a place that exists for our military men and women, and I'm proud to say that in my little small way, I'm helping out folks that need it so much. And I'm just tickled that I could do a little something to help our men and women that's done so much for our country.
This is awesome, and which also goes along with the Love Tattoo Foundation. Now, if somebody wanted to help you, are donations welcome to that?
Oh, absolutely. I would send them to our page. You would go to the richardlynchband.com, and then you would scroll down and you would see lovetattoofoundation.org. And there's a lot of folks that have contributed and donated. And, just to give you an example of how significant the Whirlwind Lodge is, it's a 1,200-acre facility with a 60-acre lake. So the veterans that can go there, there's also medical issues that they can deal with a doctor. If they have a little psychological issue, they can get away, or if they just need, a week or two to get away from everything, to get their mind together, they are welcome at the Whirlwind Lodge there in Custer, Michigan. So, I'm really proud that I get to do something in my little way of giving back. The coolest thing about that page is that every year we get to go up and do a concert with them. We did it last summer, and we're going to do a concert this coming August in Michigan there at the Whirlwind Lodge. It's really awesome. It's really humbling to see these folks walk up to me and they thank me. And
wow.
I'm really hard. It's really hard for me to imagine this, but when I tell them, I said, folks, we've got this all wrong. I need to be thanking you. You guys are the reason that I get to do what I love to do. And some of them are in wheelchairs. Some of them you would never know that there's anything wrong with them to look at them, but they've got the PTSD, the different issues that they're dealing with. But to me, they're heroes, and I get to be around those folks, and I feel humbled to be around those wonderful people.
I know what you mean by that, and people don't realize that our servicemen and women, they're all over the United States. So if you know, some are in nursing homes, some are at home. You know, I think we need to get out and do things more for our veterans because they just kind of get shoved to the side a lot of times, and people don't realize it, or either they don't know about it, right?
That's exactly right. You know, and if we can do a little something to give awareness to an organization like that, I think it's a good thing. And you know, a lot of credit goes to you because you've always supported the Love Tattoo Foundation, and you've always supported the song. And you know, you're a saint for doing that, and we appreciate you. And I know a lot of folks that have benefited because of folks like you that get the word out there. And you know, it might be somebody listening right now that could benefit and go to the Whirlwind Lodge and have some time and recreation there, because you know, a lot of people, even if they hear about it, they don't necessarily follow through with it. But if they hear my words, I want everybody to know, if you're a veteran and you have served this country, there's a place for you to go and visit. And you know, you can get that deserved downtime and recreation time, and be around folks that have similar issues and have similar circumstances.
That's right. And you know, most all families have a veteran in them. And, you know, I don't think people realize that either. Most families have a veteran right amongst them there. So even there, you know.
You're exactly right, Paige. Exactly right. You know that the Love Tattoo song has done a lot for me, and it still continues to do a lot for me. And you know, one of my songs that had a lot of airplay, and it's still getting some recognition, especially around you know, like Memorial Day, is a song called "American Proud." And that particular song, we do it every show we play. It's an upbeat, fun song to play. The guys love to perform it, and it's amazing how much crowd participation we get when we do the song "American Proud." And as we're kicking it off, I stand right there and I holler in the microphone, "How many proud Americans do we have?" And it gives me goosebumps to see these people stand up and hoot and holler and carry on. And when they get to hear the song "American Proud," it just goes to show me how much patriotism there still is out there for this country.
Yes. Yeah, and I know there still is, too. Now, cut and paste, that's been really getting some airplay out there, too. Your duet with Rhonda Vincent. I watch Michael Stover out there a lot of times, and he's always posting the airplays, radio plays, and things like that. I'm like, I always look and see who's on there.
You know, Michael Stover is a hard-working man. He has done so much, and continues to do stuff for us. We were nominated for an international award in New York City this year. You know, I never dreamed that I would ever be going to New York City, but the old farm boy from Waynesville, Ohio, was in downtown New York City just a few months ago, and it's all because of music. And you know what? You know, Michael has got our music out there, and we're being considered and being played all around the world. And you know, a lot of thanks to Mr. Michael Stover for all his efforts that he does for us.
Yeah, he's got his hands full too with little Kelly. I'm getting big now, and
absolutely.
Got them wrapped around her little finger. I love seeing all the pictures posted out there, and you too. You have a little Win out there too that I like seeing all the baby pictures. So.
Little Win is becoming quite the celebrity. He's getting a little age on him now, and he loves being around his big brother there. And my wife, Miss Donna, she loves going down and being around part of them boys, and I love being around them. They're a blast to be around.
Yeah, they are. But I love seeing all of those pictures. Every time I sign on, I see pictures, and so keep the pictures coming. They're gonna have a lot of pictures for photo albums.
No doubt.
No doubt. I was gonna look. I had one thing wrote down. I see. I keep all my notes. Now, why don't you tell us again what you're going to be coming up doing this week, Richard? So, we only have like 14 minutes.
In the morning, we're leaving for Virginia. We get to go play a festival and a convention in Virginia. I'm doing a show with Peter Yarrow, and for the folks that don't know who Peter Yarrow, he was American music legend from Peter, Paul, and Mary from the 60s, and he has done so many different things, and the organization is called Better Angels, so we're doing a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night event with those folks in Virginia, and it's going to be televised. It's pretty amazing that I get to hang out with some of these folks that are legends. And Peter Yarrow is not necessarily a country artist, but he's touched millions and millions of folks, and I have a respect for his genre, and I appreciate the fact that he thinks enough of my music to be a part of his show, and so I'm really, really flattered that I get to be a part of this. And then we get to drive back home late Friday night, and Saturday we are playing what they call the Lebanon Country Music Festival, Lebanon, Ohio. And every year they probably have close to 10,000 or maybe a few more than that in attendance at the Country Music Festival. So I'm excited about being on that country music show this coming Saturday. If you look at our schedule, we're around the tri-state area for a couple of weeks, Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana area, and then we go up to Michigan, and we're playing a show for the RFD folks. RFD Television is filming us a show in Michigan for some folks that raise some money to help these agricultural folks that's lost a lot of the ground and a lot of fires and different things around the country. So it's called the Ag Community Relief Fund. We're doing a show with them the 23rd of June. And once again, I'm glad that I can be around something that has a meaning for something. It's great to go play and have a lot of fun, but if you can play music and you can help raise some money for a worthwhile organization like the Better Angels organization or the Ag Community Relief Fund in Michigan or anything to do with the military, that's pretty special for me. I love doing those great shows like that.
Well, and I know you don't base your traditionally Lynch around that, do you? Some of it, yeah?
Oh, yeah. The traditional Lynch show is, we cut up and have, you can see that we're having a blast on the TV show. We're all having fun, and it's a blast to do that. And anytime you can entertain somebody and make them feel good for a little bit and forget about their troubles for 45 minutes or an hour or 90 minutes, that's not a bad thing.
Well, I was excited. And I think I talked to Randy one time about it when you first come out with traditional Lynch, and then now it's like, I can watch it now. So we were excited too. So I try to go if I think of it. Now those are those every Friday night? Yes.
Well, no, the traditional Lynch shows are a combination of about a year and a half or two. We only have 5 or 6 shows that we record here on that we do on our farm every year. And so we record the entire segment and our guests. Like we've had Ronnie McDowell up here and T. Graham Brown, and we've had Confederate Railroad and lots of folks from Nashville. So we record all the shows, and then we put together, the little half-hour segment, and that's what gets aired every Saturday morning. And so we've had one show here a couple weeks ago with Shotgun Red, and he came up to the farm, and so now we're airing and we're filming new shows and new segments for the up and coming 13-week segment of Traditionally Lynch. Everything is done in 13-week segments, or quarters, I guess they call it. So we're currently in the process of putting together new shows and new recordings for our new second season, I guess you might say.
Awesome. It's wonderful that you can do that and not have to really, it's hard work, no doubt about it, either way it goes, but that you can go ahead and get those together like that.
It is, but, if you love what you do, someone said there's no work to it. They might have told me a fib there. There's probably a lot of work to it, but we still love what we do.
Right? Yeah, they probably wouldn't tell you that. Well, I know we've come down to like...
We ought to get you to come up here and be on one of our shows. We'd love to have you.
That would be awesome.
And
I would have to sit down and plan it out. I would be glad to come.
Well, get the figure and look at our schedule and come see us. We'd love to have you.
Awesome. Well, I sure will, and I appreciate the invite. I'll bring my song with me, Richard.
You better. Maybe we'll write us one together. We'll co-write one.
Right. Awesome. That would be cool. But I know we're down to like 8 minutes left. Tell our listeners what are all of your social media networks and things like that, where they can find your music online.
Well, the best place to find my music and our schedule is just go to Richard Lynch Band. That's LYNCH, RichardLynchBand.com. And if you want to know where we're playing or our schedule around the country, or if you want to see where you can purchase some merchandise or some music, or just want to get educated, there's an awful lot of good stories in there and a lot of different articles that you can read about us and the different things that we've done around the country and and continue to do. And we just love being around folks that love good country music. There's nothing better for me than to see somebody come to one of our shows, and I get to shake their hand or hug their neck and get to know them for a little bit, because I'm so appreciative of the fact that they've spent their money and they've thought enough of us to come see us. I want to make sure if anybody wants to ever shake my hand or have an autograph or just sit and talk for a minute, that I can definitely spend some time with them. I love doing that.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to close out here. I want to thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to come on and talk with us. We always have a great time talking, Richard, and maybe by the end of the year, or maybe sooner, we don't want to make it that long next time.
Well, you have an open invitation any place I'm playing, whether it's in Ohio or Georgia or Tennessee or Texas or wherever you see us. If you see fit to come join us, you better come see us. We'd love to have you. And that goes for all your listeners out there, too. Nothing better for us to get to meet people and have them, come up talk to us and say they heard us on a radio show or they've seen us here and they did that. We're just very appreciative and very thankful that we got a lot of country music fans that still love traditional country music.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate y'all, too. I think we're going to close out here, and we'll see who have I got next. You probably know J.J. McGuigan. That's another one of Michael's.
You bet. You bet.
Yeah, that's one of Michael's singer-songwriters. He's on next week. And the last week of June, the next to the last week, I've got a busy week. it's all aspects from Athens. I have people on from the locals, so that'll be pretty cool.
Absolutely. That sounds like a blast.
Mm-hmm. So we'll wish you well, Richard, and we'll be talking to you hopefully very soon.
Okay, Paige, thanks for thinking of me. And you guys, like I said, come see us. We appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Awesome. I think we're going to go out with Mending Fences.
All righty. Bye, folks.
Bye-bye, y'all. Thank you again, Richard.
Thanks, Paige. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Love is like an old fence road. As time goes by, there'll be some holes. From where it starts to where it ends, ain't always straight, sometimes it bends. It's damn hard work to keep it up. Hurts when that old barbed wire cuts. But the thing that seems to matter most is how you set them corner posts. Son, pay attention, listen close. Take it from an old cowboy who knows. Pride kept me chasing foolish dreams and wasting precious time till I came to my senses. If you hear one thing that I say, son, don't learn the hard way. A good cowboy is always mending fences. A woman's heart ain't hard to break, and once you've opened up that gate, it's hard to put the trust back in. You have to prove yourself again. Son, pay attention, listen close. Take it from an old cowboy who knows. Pride kept me chasing foolish dreams and wasting precious time till I came to my senses. If you hear one thing that I say, son, don't learn the hard way. A good cowboy is always mending fences. If you hear one thing that I say, son, don't learn the hard way. A good cowboy is always mending fences. A good cowboy is always mending fences. Love is like an old fence road. As time goes by, there'll be some holes.
Hi, folks. This is Mark Wilmot, singer-songwriter of the Redstone Ramblers, owner of Trademark Instrument Repair, and proud supporter of the Paige Roberts Show on Intercom Radio. Do you want that old acoustic to play like butter again? You want to get that Strat you got from your dad hot-rodded? Or maybe you want to put a pickup in your banjo? You can contact me for all your TLC. I'll be there for your instrument when it needs me. You can check me out at Trademark Instrument Repair on Facebook. Thanks again for listening, and remember, support your local songwriter.
We're playing tunes that make you grin. Our music's better than it's ever been. So think of us when you need a show. We're at WIRN Intercom Radio.
I'm Ryan Burke. I'm the head cider maker at Angry Orchard, and we're in Brittany, France. I wanted to make Angry Orchard rosé cider out of my love for rosé wine. We came here and found these red-fleshed apples. It's a really rare fruit. The apple brings a right, refreshing, natural taste to the cider and a deep, nice pink rosé hue. Our rosé is a little bit less sweet. It's got a really nice balance. For any occasion, it's a really refreshing drink.
Angry Orchard Cider Company, Walden, New York. Drink responsibly.
Good times begin with the cool, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's brewed with real iced tea. It's the hard iced tea that goes down easy with a twist. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Unwind with a twist. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Drink responsibly.